one of the biggest things in all those organizing and being able to put text in different spots and be able to move it around, especially inside a drawing, is should I use a table or should I use a text box? And here's one of the things about text boxes. For a text box to work, they have to be able to click on the outside. So if you do not put a border around your text box, they don't know where to click. And so the text box could end here or there. If they click in the middle, it's going to actually bring up the text editor. So I tend to stay away from text boxes if it's something that I'm having people move. I like to use tables because tables allows you to click, and yeah, you can click inside, but as soon as you click, it shows the entire border of the table, and that allows you to move it and also order it and kind of color it pretty easy. So let's go ahead and do both of those. So I'm going to insert table, and I'm just going to do 1. And so you can see right away I know where the table parameters are. I can type something in. We'll stay with our grasshoppers theme. I can also right click and be able to insert a row underneath, expand specific row. So I have a lot of controls here, and again, notice when I click on it I have this kind of control, so I can move it around. Whereas if I do text box and choose this small little area, type in the same thing, and notice I have to expand it in order to make it fit. Okay. On this one, notice when I make it smaller, it will also move as my font size allows it to. Okay, but how do I know how to click and move this? See, I'm trying to move this and I got to grab it a bunch of times. Whereas this one, it's pretty easy just to grab and move it around by those notches. As long as you don't select right on these little arrows or these points, you're good. I want to delete the row. There it is. And I can even color these. And I can color a box too. With the box, I do have to worry about centering. So I have to make sure it's in the center, and then that way if I tighten it up like that, it moves. But again, there's my box. I can move it around, and I'm going to expand out a little bit, so I'm going to zoom out. What you can do is then put these items over here on the side, and see how the text box is a little bit harder because it's just a smaller area. Some people like to put thicker borders on them, so that way it's easier for the students to grab it. But notice if you put them on the outside here, they're easy to drag in, and then you have kind of a workspace, and this is kind of almost like your mat where you have all your materials. So it's good for manipulatives, good for anything where you're bringing in other stuff and you need them to have a workspace that's defined that maybe they're turning in or something. So that is text box and tables and their comparisons.